Hello, this is Guy Wallace. This short video overviews both my failed ISPI Presidential Initiative to Clarify HPT, Human Performance Technology, a society-wide effort from 2002 through 2004, and where it might go next. This is the third and final video in a series overviewing the initiative's key outputs. For parts one and two, I did both audio podcasts and videos using Google's AI tool, Notebook LM, which did a fairly good job in my opinion. That effort to clarify HPT, human performance technology, failed in its implementation after a most successful design and development effort, due to my perspective, to organizational politics, in that the paid leadership of ISPI at the time was resistant during the effort to conduct stage one, analysis and design, and then, to put it in polite terms, under-support it in the stage two implementation efforts. A recent series of conversations I've had with Josh Cavalier, beginning in late 2025 and early into 2026, about his efforts to build an open source AI tool for performance consultants to use end-to-end in their efforts, and his agreement that performance improvement, or human performance improvement, requires a collaborative effort across many disciplines. That has given me hope that what the late Geary Rummler envisioned and published way back in 1983, and that he and I agreed to work towards in 2002 in that presidential initiative, they might finally be realized. In 1983, I had read Rummler's article about using the concept of technology domains to define HPT versus a few paragraphs. Technologies now, as the word was used back in the 70s and 80s at ISPI, was the application of science and not software and hardware as it's often used today. I had known Geary since 1980 when I met him at the ISPI conference in Dallas, my very first conference. I talked with him over the next 19 years about his article and knew that he was disappointed that the society, ISPI, never did anything with it. In 1999, I was elected to the ISPI board. In 2002, as my two-year term was ending, I let it be known that I intended to run for the presidency, and fellow board member Jim Hill, who was also wanted to run for the presidency, well, he and I came to an agreement about him going first and not competing with each other if he allowed me to start a presidential initiative to clarify HPT for marketing purposes. Now, the name of the initiative back then was about the value proposition for HPT, and we really needed to clarify it, and so the name of this kind of morphed over time. Judy Hale, who would be president while Jim Hill served as president-elect, also agreed to allow me to start the effort during her term. So I had 3 years to get her done. My intent on starting the presidential initiative to clarify HPT was to use Geary's concept of technology domains to define human performance technology as a multidisciplined approach to the design, development, and improvement of performance systems for both greenfield efforts and to address existing performance problems and/or opportunities to help ISPI, my professional home since 1979, to sharpen its value proposition for key target audiences and sharpen its marketing messages for those target audiences. I had actually tried to prime the pump with an article I published in the February 2000 edition of ISPI's newsletter, News and Notes, titled An HPT Marketplace View, where I proposed how ISPI might differentiate itself from the growing number of professional organizations and conferences that overlapped with ISPI's mission and target audiences from its earliest days, which back then was a focus on programmed instruction that then became performance and instruction. And as the late Joe Harless had remarked, performance and instruction, why, that's like the Department of Transportation and bicycles. So many were not happy with that name change, and then soon the name became Performance Improvement, the International Society for Performance Improvement. But the marketing message seemed muddled to me yet. It was inconsistent message to message and year to year. I had yet hoped to see Rummler's technology domains used to clarify what was in the HPT box and what wasn't. Did it include Six Sigma? Yes or no? Did it include motivation and incentives? Yes or no? Or was it, as one author in the Performance Improvement Journal once put it, simply performance based training? The initiative was a multi year and collaborative effort, and the documentation from it is housed on a website I created in 2010 to ensure that the initiative's outputs produced were not shelved, buried, or lost somehow, because, as they say, hope springs eternal. I'm retired now, but still in the race, albeit in the final lap of a relay race, wanting to hand the baton of what I have learned over the last 47 years to the next generation in terms of performance based instruction, including both performance guides and learning experiences, as well as human performance technology, the means to the ends of human performance improvement. Some like to shorten that all to performance technology or performance improvement, and that's fine. I've spent over 20 years lamenting the failed implementation of that multi-year initiative and the lack of use, the leverage of the what the 20 plus members of the society accomplished by ISPI's paid and elected leadership that followed. Now, what Josh Cavalier is attempting to create, an open source AI skills set, an end-to-end tool set for performance improvement consultants across many professional domains, is perhaps the last chance, in my opinion, for that initiative's outputs to finally bear fruit and bring some value to the performance improvement consultant community, regardless of their professional homerooms. You may have listened to or watched the audio podcast and YouTube videos I have created to provide background for this. This video is part 3 of that series. I hope that you will take the time to review the report to the ISPI board from March 21st, 2004, especially looking at its definition and the tools that it provided for performance analysis. And I sincerely hope that you will follow Josh Cavalier's efforts and contribute to them when he's released the alpha version of his open sourced AI tool, and help HPT, or whatever terms are used going forward, to describe the concepts, models, methods, tools, and techniques necessary to improve performance at the human level, at the process level, the organization level, and at the value chain level. Thank you. Cheers.